In the heart of the sprawling Greenfield Forest, nature's beauty flourished with every season. This tranquil haven, known for its winding trails and towering trees, was a sanctuary for those seeking peace and adventure. Amidst this serenity lived Max, a resourceful German shepherd, and his owner, Sarah, a dedicated park ranger. Together, they maintained the safety and beauty of the forest they loved so dearly. However, one fateful day, a sudden storm tested their skills and resilience in ways they never could have anticipated. This is the tale of Max, whose unwavering loyalty and courage would turn a treacherous journey into a heartwarming story of heroism and hope. Max and the Lost Hiker. Part 1: The Storm Begins. The forest was a haven for hikers and nature enthusiasts, a sprawling expanse of greenery that seemed endless. But when the clouds rolled in, dark and foreboding, the once inviting paths turned into treacherous trails. It was on such a day that Max, a resourceful German shepherd, found himself playing a crucial role in a tale of survival and resilience. Max was not just any dog. He was known in the small town of Greenfield as the dog with the keen sense of direction and an uncanny ability to find lost things, whether it was a child's favorite toy or a set of car keys. His owner, Sarah, was a park ranger who had trained Max since he was a puppy. They had a bond that went beyond words. They understood each other in a way that transcended the usual pet-owner relationship. It was a late afternoon when the storm began to brew. The sky darkened, and a chilly wind swept through the forest, rustling the leaves and bending the branches. Sarah was in her cabin, preparing for the storm by securing loose items and making sure the emergency supplies were in order. Max, sensing the change in the weather, was restless. He paced back and forth by the door, his ears perked up, and his eyes sharp. "What's wrong, boy?" Sarah asked, noticing his agitation. Max responded with a bark, and then another. He trotted to the door and looked back at Sarah as if urging her to follow. Sarah trusted Max's instincts. "All right, let's see what's going on," she said, grabbing her rain jacket and flashlight. The moment she opened the door, Max bolted out, leading the way into the dense forest. The rain started to pour, a steady downpour that soon turned the ground into a muddy mess. Sarah followed Max, her boots sinking into the wet earth with every step. The trees swayed in the wind, and the sound of the rain was almost deafening. After about 20 minutes of trudging through the forest, Max suddenly stopped. His ears were pointed forward, and his nose was twitching. Sarah shone her flashlight in the direction Max was staring. It was then that she heard it, a faint cry for help. "Help! Is anyone there?" The voice was weak, barely audible over the sound of the storm. Sarah's heart raced. "We're coming," she shouted back, her voice strong and steady. Max led the way, and soon they found a young woman, drenched and shivering, huddled under a large tree. She looked up at them with a mix of relief and fear. "My name is Emily," she said, her voice trembling. "I got lost. I've been out here for hours." Sarah immediately took charge. "You're safe now, Emily. We're going to get you out of here." She handed Emily a blanket she had brought along, and with Max's help, they slowly made their way back to the cabin. The journey back was arduous, with the storm showing no signs of letting up. Max stayed close to Emily, guiding her and providing warmth with his presence. Sarah kept the flashlight steady, her eyes scanning the surroundings for any signs of danger. By the time they reached the cabin, Emily was exhausted. Sarah helped her inside and wrapped her in more blankets, while Max curled up at her feet, his eyes watchful and protective. "Thank you," Emily said, her voice filled with gratitude. "I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't found me." Sarah smiled, patting Max on the head. "It's all thanks to Max. He's the real hero." Max wagged his tail, his eyes bright with understanding. He knew that his job was far from over. The storm raged on, and he was ready for whatever came next. Part 2: The Journey Through the Storm. The storm showed no signs of abating as Max, Sarah, and Emily settled in the cozy warmth of the cabin. The crackling fire provided a comforting backdrop to the howling wind outside, but the situation was far from over. Emily's ordeal had taken a toll on her, and Sarah knew that they couldn't stay isolated for long. Emily needed medical attention, and the storm was only getting worse. "Emily, you need to rest," Sarah said gently. "We're safe here for now, but once the storm calms down, we'll get you to the nearest hospital." Emily nodded, her eyes heavy with exhaustion. Max lay beside her, his presence a constant source of comfort. His eyes never left her, as if he understood the gravity of the situation. The night wore on, and the storm continued its relentless assault. Sarah kept a vigilant watch, her thoughts racing. She knew the forest well, but the storm had transformed it into an unpredictable and dangerous place. As the hours passed, the wind howled louder, and the rain turned into a torrential downpour. It was early morning when Sarah heard a faint sound over the storm, a helicopter. The sound grew louder, and she realized that a search and rescue team was looking for Emily. She quickly grabbed her flashlight and ran outside, waving it in the air. Max followed her, barking to attract attention. The helicopter hovered above the cabin, and a voice crackled through a loudspeaker. "This is the search and rescue team. Stay where you are. We're sending down a medic." Within minutes, a medic descended from the helicopter and made his way to the cabin. Sarah led him inside, where Emily was lying on the couch, her face pale but determined. The medic quickly assessed her condition and administered first aid. "We need to get her to the hospital as soon as possible," the medic said. "The storm is making it difficult, but we'll do our best." Sarah nodded. "Max and I will help guide you back to the helicopter. He's familiar with the terrain, and he can lead us through the safest path." With the medic supporting Emily, Sarah and Max led the way back through the storm. The forest was unrecognizable, with fallen branches and mudslides blocking their path. But Max's instincts were sharp, and he navigated the treacherous terrain with remarkable precision. As they neared the clearing where the helicopter was waiting, a sudden landslide blocked their path. The ground shook, and debris tumbled down the hillside. Sarah's heart pounded as she realized the danger they were in. "Stay back," she shouted, pushing Emily and the medic to safety. Max barked loudly, warning them of the imminent danger. Thinking quickly, Sarah spotted a narrow passageway through the debris. "This way," she called, leading them through the narrow opening. Max squeezed through, his body low to the ground, and Emily and the medic followed closely. The passage was tight, but they made it through unscathed. As they emerged on the other side, the helicopter's lights illuminated their path. The rescue team helped Emily and the medic aboard, while Sarah and Max watched from the ground. "You're a hero, Max," Sarah said, patting his head. "You saved Emily's life." Max wagged his tail, his eyes shining with pride. As the helicopter lifted off, Sarah knew that their journey through the storm had forged an unbreakable bond between them. Part 3: A New Beginning. The days following the storm were a blur of recovery and relief. Emily was treated at the hospital and made a full recovery, thanks to the timely intervention of Max and Sarah. The story of their daring rescue spread throughout the town, and Max became a local hero. Sarah received numerous calls and messages from friends and neighbors, all expressing their admiration for Max. But for Sarah, the most rewarding part was seeing Emily regain her strength and spirit. One sunny afternoon, Emily visited Sarah and Max at the park ranger station. She had brought a basket of treats for Max, who greeted her with a wagging tail and happy barks. "Hi, Max," Emily said, kneeling down to pet him. "I missed you, buddy." Sarah smiled as she watched the reunion. "How are you feeling, Emily?" Emily nodded. "I'm much better, thanks to you both. I wanted to thank you again for everything you did." "It was all Max," Sarah said modestly. "He's the real hero." Emily looked at Max with gratitude. "I owe him my life." As they chatted, a group of children approached, curious about Max. Sarah introduced them to the courageous German Shepherd, and they listened in awe as Emily recounted the story of her rescue. "Max is amazing," one of the children exclaimed. Can he be our friend too? Sarah laughed. Max loves making new friends. He's always here to help. Over the following weeks, Max's fame grew, and he became a beloved figure in the community. He visited schools and community centers, bringing joy and comfort to everyone he met. His story of bravery and loyalty inspired many, and he became a symbol of hope and resilience. One evening, as Sarah and Max sat by the fireplace in their cabin, Sarah reflected on the journey they had been through. The storm had tested their strength and resolve, but it had also brought them closer together. Max, you're more than just a dog, Sarah said, stroking his fur. You're a true friend and a hero. Max looked up at her, his eyes filled with warmth and understanding. He knew that he had found his purpose in life, to protect and serve, no matter the challenges. As the fire crackled and the stars shone brightly in the night sky, Sarah and Max knew that their adventure was just beginning. Together, they would face whatever came their way, united by an unbreakable bond of love and loyalty. The story of Max and the lost hiker, Emily, spread like wildfire through the town of Greenfield, touching the hearts of all who heard it. Max, with his keen instincts and unwavering bravery, had not only saved a life but had also brought a community closer together. His bond with Sarah grew even stronger, their shared experiences forging an unbreakable partnership. As the days turned into weeks, Max continued to inspire those around him, visiting schools and community centers, spreading joy and hope. Sarah often reflected on their journey through the storm, grateful for the love and loyalty that Max had shown. In the quiet moments by the fireplace, she would stroke his fur and whisper words of gratitude, knowing that together, they could face any challenge that came their way. The tale of Max and the lost hiker would forever be remembered as a testament to the profound connections between humans and animals, a story of resilience, courage, and the unyielding power of love.